up, guys? In this video I'm going to be talking about diagrams and different components with the diagrams, what you should have, what you shouldn't have, things of that nature. But before I do, make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment in the comment section below. It helps me make more videos. If after watching this video you still have questions, make sure that you look in the description area. I have posted all of the previously published videos that I have made. A lot of the answers to your questions will be in those videos. Also, you can contact me directly through Facebook, Lowrider Hydraulic Tips. I manage that page, and when you message me, that comes directly to me. But before you message me, make sure that you have taken pictures of your setup, of your switches, everything that you have, and make sure that you send me that along with any information that you know about your setup, as well as what it is doing and what it is not doing. Okay, so for the most part, I have only posted commonly used diagrams. However, I have posted some others that I have seen in the past. Now, I will tell you that some battery diagrams are smarter to use than others. For example, this diagram makes more sense than this diagram. And why is that? Well, that's because we're sending a lot more power up front, and we're using part of the power for the rear. Now, me personally, I only run around 3 to 4 batteries to the rear, and it doesn't matter if I'm running 1 pump to the rear or 2 pumps to the rear. And the reason is because the rear doesn't take as much power to lift, and when you do hit the rear, let's just say with 6 batteries or even more, it tends to be a little bit violent. It hits it a little hard, and unless you're hopping the rear, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I would prefer sending more power to the front because we do hop the front quite a bit. So you can understand why it makes more sense to run the battery configuration that way versus splitting into 2 separate banks. Now, what do I mean by banks? If you've got 3 batteries going to the front and 3 batteries going to the rear, that is 2 banks. If you've got a total of 6 batteries wired together, 6 batteries to the front and say 3 or 4 going to the rear, that's 1 bank. That's the difference between banks. Okay, so now we're going to talk about solenoids. You can hook them up the old-fashioned way, which is just a wire from here to here, or you can use the new couplers or newer style of couplers, and you basically just connect them just like so, and at least this is the way that I do it. I take one of the nuts off and spin it all the way down and get it nice and tight. On the other one, I leave it all the way tight as well, but you leave 1 nut on. So basically what you're trying to do is at the end, these should be flush. So it should be kind of like that. So when you go to mount them down. So basically you go ahead and start it, spin it around until it goes so far. Well, I got lucky on this, and I can actually just push that down and it's going to be flat, but a lot of times it won't be like that. But anyway, so let's just say that you want it to be right there, okay? And it's not tight and it stops, say somewhere right in here, instead of making it flat. So you back it up to right here, and then you take the little nut that you kept on this one and you just tighten it down and get it nice and tight and flatten it out. Okay, so now it's real nice and tight. So the contact is really good. So then when it comes to mounting your solenoids, you want to make sure that they are to bare metal. I can't stress that enough, bare metal. And make sure that you're mounting both sides to bare metal. You can use the self-tapping screws, or you can use the nuts and bolts, but the point is make sure that they are grounded very well. Now, which side do you connect your switchbox wires to? If you look on the back of here, and I'm not sure you can see it, there's an S, okay? You want to mount your switchbox wires to the actual S side, not the other side. Now, there are other kinds of solenoids other than the AccuMax, which you can get the other ones if you want to, but I don't suggest it. You've got the top post, which I know a lot of people are using just the single post ones, which there's nothing wrong with that. The block solenoids, I know they look clean and they will work on some setups, low voltage setups, but I've never had any good luck, and I've never heard of anybody having good luck with those block ones. Now, I'm sure I'll be flooded with comments, oh, I've had great luck. Well, I never have, and I personally don't know anybody personally that has had good luck with the square black ones. They do look a little cleaner, but in my experience, they never work out. Okay, I forgot to mention, does it matter which one you start with? No, technically it doesn't. When you hit your switch, the ones that are jumpered over, it doesn't matter if you start on this one, straight from the switch box to this one, or straight from the switch box to this one. It really doesn't matter. Now, I guess technically, if you wanted to be super technical about it, if you've got power coming into this side and your pump on the other side, technically speaking, I guess you would want the power to hit this one first and then this one, but honestly, I've never seen that it made any difference, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so now what gauge wire? In my experience, anything under 6 batteries in a bank is okay to run 2 gauge wire. However, anything over 6 batteries in a bank is probably going to want to jump to the 0 gauge. The way that I look at it is, imagine a water hose. The bigger the water hose, the more water can flow through that water hose. Okay, it's kind of the same principle when it comes to wire. The thicker the wire, the more power can run through it at a time. So, you know, anything under 6 batteries is 2 gauge, you know, roughly. Anything over 6 batteries is probably, you want to jump to 0 gauge. Doesn't mean that I haven't seen it ran all different kinds of ways. That's just kind of a guide to help you know which is which. Okay, so not all diagrams are here, and the main reason is because if at this point you're looking for help on how to wire up anything over 6 batteries, you might want to step back and educate yourself a little bit more. The reason I say that is because anything over 6 batteries, you're starting to ask for trouble. What I mean by that is you're no longer in lay and play necessarily setup. 8 batteries to the front, 10 batteries to the front, 12 batteries, whatever. You know, those diagrams and everything, it's very similar to what I posted, but the difference is that you have to do extra things like grounding motors. You want to make sure that, you know, all of your cables are done correctly. You want to make sure that, you know, once you get past the 6 battery mark, do you start going with a shared load solenoid setup? The point is that you need to know what you're doing once you get past a certain point, and if you know what you're doing, go right ahead and continue on, push those limits as far as you can, just like I try to all the time. With that said, if you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be pushing those limits too far, because you're going to catch your car on fire and then you're going to be like lit with absolutely nothing. So I hope you found this video informative. It did take me a pretty good amount of time to do these diagrams and everything, so please do me a favor, subscribe, like, and comment in the comment section below. Also, I have provided in the description links to our TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Go follow us on each one of those, comment on those as well. Every time you guys leave a comment or like or share, it helps us grow our pages, and YouTube provides us a small amount of money to continue making these videos. So it doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps us. So please make sure you do that for us.